Here we go. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of the Bourbon Talks. That's right. It's the midweek show, typically on Wednesdays. I think it's always been on Wednesdays. Come to think of it, yeah, it's always been on Wednesdays. But it's the midweek show, the Wednesday show, where I sit back, I talk about what's going on in the world of movies, TV, shows, video games, comics, whatever's going on, whatever tickles my fancy. How are you doing? What's going on? Let's say hi to the chat. And before we got to bring up the top five. That's right, the chat top five. The top five, it's the top five. It's the first five comments, okay? I'm not going to sit here and rank all the comments because that would be rude and insensitive. And who's to say that someone's comment is better or worse than the others? Okay, well, there's some that are worse. So anyways, let's start with number one. Number one, the first guy out of the gate is Apollo Patriot. Greek God is here, and we're glad you're here. Salute to you. Number two. Who will be number two? Well, if you're looking at the chat, you know. It's not really a big surprise. DM. Hi, all. How you doing? Great to see you. Oh, look at this. Miss Teresa. You made the top five. You're number three. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Trace XL. Hello, Fox in chat. Y'all are awesome. You are awesome. And we've got DM again, but who's the top five? Who's the one that made the final cut? It is Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, I'm here again. How are you? This is someone been kind of special for me this week. We've been kind of going back and forth about Batwoman, the latest episode. We don't technically see eye to eye on this, but it's been a great conversation, and it's proof that people who don't agree can just have conversation, right? And it's great. It's really good. So there you go. There's your top five. You got Apollo Patriot coming in at number one. DM is number two. Teresa, you made it into the top three. Trace XL number four, and Harley Quinn. Salute, top five. Now tonight, if you want to have a drink with me, I'm going to need you to be two things. I'm going to need you to be over 21, and I'm going to need you to be responsible. Okay, don't be a dummy. Sit back, have a drink. Don't go driving. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk. Let's have a chat, and then we all go off to bed because I know you got work like I do. Yeah, because you probably got bills to pay. That's just the way life is, right? WB? What does that mean? You talking about the WB? Like the WB? Like question mark, what are they doing? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Bobby Massa, Merry Mayhem. Anyone know how Mary is feeling? I was able to speak with Mary today, and she did want me to let everybody know that she's feeling better. Not 100%, but she's feeling much better. It's been rough. She wants everybody to know that she loves us all. She can't wait to get back. I know we can't wait to see her back, streaming, interacting, being just as fun and crazy as always. So, but all your thoughts and prayers are definitely appreciated by her. So Bobby, she's doing better. She's coming through. Okay, enough of the top five. Let's continue on with the chat. DM, I believe she'll be fine. Anyone that there you go. Anyone that positive and fun deserves to be healthy fast. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. We starting? Yes, we are. We are starting. Tug, how you doing? Foxy, what's going on, girl? Good to see you. My man, Snow Dub. Brother, good to see you. Good to see you again. There was a guy running around trying to use your name to cast insults and dispersions on others, and I put him in check. That was wrong because I know that you wouldn't want that. So I hope somebody stomped him out. Tommy, greetings to you, sir. How are you doing? Chet just jumped. It does it from time to time. Hi, Harley Quinn. Hi, Amber. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Bobby's saying hi, Tugs. Tommy's saying Snow Dub. What up, Frosty? Ah, yes, Miss Teresa. Having a bit. What's everybody drinking tonight? Nothing exotic for me. tonight. Just usual. When you travel, you get what you can get, right? You miss it. What did you miss? You missed the top 5? Is that what? Oh, it's okay. You'll make it next time. What I need to do is start tweeting out the top 5. So when you make the top 5, I'll at you on Twitter. I don't know if that's a big deal, but I got to give you some kind of reward. I got to do that. Maybe I'll put everybody's name in a hat and somebody gets a free shirt after a month or something. I don't know. We're gonna come up with something. We got to make it special. What's up, Tommy? Everybody loves Tommy, and they should, because Tommy is one of the hardest working mods out there. Happy Dinosaur 8000. Happy day to you, man. What's going on? What is going on? Still staying off the humans, I hope. Tug life. Yep. Everybody tugs here. Say hi. What's up? Happy Dinosaur. Hey again. Jeremy 5, Russia approved. Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Man, I'm just going to call you the troll. Is that okay? Globnob? Grobnob, the troll. What is going on? Remember to share and chomp the like button, people. Yes, if you would be so kind. Tired. Very special. LOL. Happy day to Tommy. What's going on? Hey, Darth Raven baby. Is it okay to be drinking tequila on Bourbon Talks? Let me confer with my counsel. What do you think, guys? All right, good. It's really, I'm drinking bourbon, but you can drink whatever you want. Everybody, you can drink apple juice, you can drink tequila, you can drink whatever you want. It's just about a bunch of friends hanging out, having a drink, and just shooting the breeze, talking about silliness, because there's a lot of silliness to talk about. We're going to get into it tonight. Let's keep going in the chat. Oh, no. Doesn't number 2 make me first loser? No, it doesn't. This is not Ricky Bobby. This is not Talladega Nights. It's not if you're first, you're last. Second is not the first loser. Okay, you made the top 5. That's something to be celebrated, DM. Come on, something to be celebrated. But listen, I'm not going to debate that statement. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm one of the 5 people that are sticking with this show because I kind of opened up a can of worms. I've committed myself, and I'm just one of those hopeless people that once I commit, I commit. What can you do? I don't know. Can't drink too young still. Listen, that's good. That's good. But you can drink something else. You can drink a Coke. You can drink whatever. We're having a drink. A drink can be whatever. Just any fluid's fine. But yeah, definitely. Yeah. 21. Come on, be responsible here. Do the right thing. Welcome back. Miss. Oh, you're not an MA, you're an MS. MS. What is MS? Let me know in the comment section, Harley Quinn. What state is MS? Is that Mississippi? I don't know. WB Warner Brothers or Wobbly Bottom? I think I prefer the Wobbly Bottom. Give that some thought. Hey guys, look. Fox is lying. I'm tired of it. Okay, I thought I took her phone away. Damn it. That's a lie. She's not in my basement at all. Well, she's not tied up. I think it's Wobbly Bottom, but just a guess. Yeah, Wobbly Bottom. That makes sense to me. Mary looks like $1 million. She looks like $1 million everywhere. Oh, wait. In used notes? Green and wrinkly? What? I don't even know what that means. We're going to skip that comment. Mary, yes, see, everybody, say hello to Mary. Gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Pulling through like a champ. Oh, a tasty mummy chomp. He's teriyaki style. I'm confused by half of these comments. The Black Chosen One is here. Poet Society. Good to see you, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Poet Scotty. Nice to see you. I keep when I see your name, I keep thinking about Dead Poet Society. That wonderful, wonderful, brilliant movie with Robin Williams. So it was a Freudian slip. I'm just thinking about that. I apologize. Anybody's off topic? Anybody seen that movie? That man is. If you haven't seen that movie, God, it's a dramatic role. It's Robin Williams in just flawless dramatic fashion. I mean, come on, it's just amazing. It's one of those movies you really need to see. I don't remember if it was his first dramatic role. But God, it was so good. It was so good. It's serious. You know, it's you got a little bit of jokes here, a little bit of funniness, but it's got some heavy themes. Orbs. How you doing? Listen, I hope Amber is in here without you, because I would feel awkward. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the gentleman's agreement. If Amber was in here and you weren't, I would ask her to politely. I'd ask her to leave, or at least like get your approval before she can hang out. Bro code. Know what I'm saying? That's right. Hey, Tommy, is it a nice basement? You'll have to ask Mary if she thinks it's a nice basement. I think it is. I swept up before I captured her and tied her up. No, I mean, she's not tied up. She's there. It's a really great basement. So, well, yeah. I mean, it's I'm not that cruel, Mason W. Hale, 19K Fox. What are we drinking tonight? Just Jim Beam. Just Jim Beam. Nothing exotic. I'm traveling. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina for today, and then I got to catch a plane in the AM going back to Cincinnati for a few days. Then I'm going to swing up there. I'm going to go to Baltimore. I got to do a job there for 2 days. Then I'm going to come back to Raleigh and do two. I got 2 jobs going here at the same time. So bouncing back and forth. Craziness. But that's what you got to do, right? Got to make that money. Got to pay them bills. Funny humans. 2 cans of Coke mixed with 1 can cream soda. You're an animal. That actually sounds pretty good. Really good. I am no longer considering writing it. Glad to see you. Yes, everybody. Hey, Fatal, I got to get you back on, man. I got to get you back on. Let's try to do something this weekend. I ain't streamed with you in forever, brother. Got to get you back, man. And I'm just gonna throw it out there. In June, y'all might be seeing me take another trip and possibly, maybe, meet up with this guy and a few others. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Stay tuned, kids. Stay tuned. Yes, Mary is here. Everybody's like, yeah, there she is. Just lighting up the chat with her awesomeness. Slightly under the weather, but still awesome. They have some spiders. I think I sprayed before she came over. Not against her will. Totally cool. Totally fine. What up, Ninja? Tommy, not much. Everybody's, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh, here we go. You got me excited, man. You got me excited. Yo, Jay. Everybody's saying hi to Jay. What's up? Hey, Famsy, what's going on, man? I got to work on that thing that we talked about. I got to come up with some ideas. I got to get my head wrapped around it. It's more intimidating than I thought it would be. But I'm going to work on that and get that to you probably this weekend, man. I'm going home, so I'll have my green screen. I can do it right. Hey, Michael Brent, what's going on? Do you think that Disney will do a live-action remake of The Last Unicorn, Fern Gully, Thumbelina, Anastasia, or Titan AE? I would think that Titan AE would be ripe for remake. I think that there's a void with Star Wars kind of being what it is and kind of ending that maybe they would want to take off on another space adventure in some way. Maybe. Maybe we could see Lucasfilm take over that and try to do something a little bit different. I think I would enjoy that. Just something off to the side, out of the box, different. I still like the space adventure, but maybe leave Star Wars alone for a little bit. How about that? How about you just leave my Star Wars alone? It's not mine. It's ours. But Disney Star Wars and what we know and love are 2 very different things. So maybe just step away and do something else. Because I think that all of these, for the most part, I think Disney could take them, and there's not a huge risk of alienating a bunch of fans if they put the Disney spin on it, I think. But we'll have to wait and see. What's up, Fox? What's up, chat? Hope all are well. Cheers, RC from the NYC. Great to see you again, man. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to the Bourbon Talks. Smash, hammer, gently press your like buttons depending on device or keyboard you are utilizing. Your power persuasion won't work on me this time. Man, listen, I don't know. Those powers are insane. I don't know that anyone, especially any man, no man can possibly stand against them. There's just no way. There's no way. MS middle school? You're in junior high? Oh, I'm glad I didn't go too hard on you with your views on Batwoman. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, don't drink anything alcoholic. It's probably past your bedtime. Ask your mom before you can be on the stream. I feel bad without parental consent. The troll, how are you doing today? Hey, Mary, glad to see Mary. This is what everybody is so just. They're hungry. They're hungry for you. Okay, they miss you. They hope that you're doing well. Hey, is that OG? Hey, girl, how you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by. I got to rock your shirt one day. I left it at home. I'm sorry, I'm traveling. I can only fit so much in my bag, but I need to rock your shirt on the stream one day. Is that Becky? Girl, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Social. Oh, I jumped again. Social Introvert TV. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I know it kind of. Oh wait, let me hit this comment real quick. This is RC from the NYC. He's got something to say. If Titan AE is redone, Joss Whedon should be involved. He co-wrote the screenplay. Yeah, I think. Listen, it's not that it hasn't been done before. Obviously, it has. We're talking about it, but the fan base isn't so huge, and the mythos I don't think is so vast that you could take it and I wouldn't be as afraid of them destroying it, right? Because I don't think it did that well financially anyway. So, but it had an interesting concept, you know. So I could see that. Treasure Planet is another one where I could see him. I could see that. Do something with that. I think it'd be interesting. I think that's just my feeling on it. You know, take something that maybe they tried, whether it was animated. Well, we're talking about animated to live action conversions or remakes. Take an animated series or just a single, maybe a single outing would be better. A single movie. And then do something with it. That way, because it tried and it failed, or it tried and it wasn't as successful. So maybe it's possible you can improve on that. But if you take something that's like a gold standard, like Star Wars, and try to continue that story, if you take some of these gold standard cartoons, classics, and make them live action and put a different spin on it, it's too. I think the risk is too high. I think Disney needs to be risk adverse at this point. Okay. Let's stop with all this. Just take some obscure titles, things that they've owned. They've acquired Fox. There's so much out there. One thing I would like to see, maybe not live action, but computer animated. The Secret of Nim. The Secret of Nim was one of those cartoons that I think it maybe got it got a sequel, but it didn't do very well. Secret of Nim, the animation was so good, but it was a very serious, it was a dramatic cartoon about, it sounds silly, but it's really about mice, okay? But the story isn't just about talking mice or talking rats. It was about laboratory experiments done on mice, and it actually gave them intelligence. And it's interesting. I mean, and some of the sort of struggles, and they have to, it's, in some ways, it's sort of simplistic storytelling, classical in some ways, you know, but at the same time, it had sort of a sci-fi aspect to it, you know, with the genetic testing and all that, and giving birth to intelligence. And some mice had the intelligence and could speak, and some could not. And then the negative of that was that it also increased. I think they aged quickly and died at a young age. So that was interesting. Yeah. So take something like that and expound on that maybe, but don't put a bunch of social stuff in there, you know, because they could probably take the Secret of Nim and try to turn it into like an animal cruelty, or PETA could be involved in it. That's not necessary. Just tell something. It's an interesting story, and then you take it, and instead of telling it about humans, you tell them about mice, and these are like simple field mice, you know. And one of the central conflicts is that they have to move their house because the farmer is going to plow the field and destroy their entire house. You know, everything they've built is going to be destroyed. So the big plan is they're going to come up with this way to move this house, which I think is just a cinder block, but they're going to relocate it somehow, some way, using their intelligence. And so that's, but it's just, like I say, it's just interesting. An interesting concept set. Instead of humans being sort of the subjects, it's mice. you know. But I was a big fan of the animation, and some of the voice acting was really good. Some of the dark moments, you know, because there's killing in it, you know, but it's you forget for a second that you're watching a cartoon about, you know, mice and rats. So it's interesting. But yeah, let me know in the comment section if anybody has seen The Secret of Nim. You remember that as a kid. It was really cool. I liked it. I really liked it. What's Becky talking about here? The Rescuers and the Rescuers Down. Yeah, I mean, you could take something like that. Go computer animated. I think if it's animals, do CGI. Maybe not full blown like the Jungle Book, but you could still do it in an animation style that is sort of cartoonish, so you can still get some of that, the levity, you know, the sense of adventure and all that. If you do super realistic, sometimes it seems a little odd because then your mind thinks, okay, I'm looking at a real animal, and if something's off about it, the way they speak or move, whatever, then it kind of takes you out of it. So, but if it's sort of obviously on the face of it, a cartoon or an animation, you let some things go. You know, you let some things slide. You know, what All Dogs Go to Heaven? Yeah, there you go. Burt Reynolds was the voice. Was Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise. They were a huge comedic team back in the day, back in the 70s, early 80s. Cannonball Run movies, all that stuff, and they did the voices of those dogs, and it was pretty good. So I guess my point would be that you'd have to find two actors with really good chemistry, and you can make something like that work. But that would be interesting, and that's like a dog lovers movie. Think about All Dogs Go to Heaven. Come on, you know, who would have a problem with that? Nobody. That's your answer. Nobody. Oh, here we go. So Mary has seen it, knows it, thinks it's the GOAT. It was good. It was so good. There was a scene. Okay, so like the main bad guy rat is about to. He's going in for the kill for the good guy rat. Okay, so they're fighting, right? They're struggling, and he's the good guy's protecting the mice, right? The field mice are little, you know, the rats are bigger and stronger, and they've been injected with some of that stuff that the NIM was actually, I think that was the science lab. I don't know how I'm getting on a tangent on this, but it's a good movie. So there's this point where the big guy's coming in for the kill, right? And the good guy's kind of hurt, you know, and the bad guy's like, I've learned this much. Take what you can when you can. And the good guy's like, and then you've learned nothing. And it was just, as a kid, that was like profound. It's like, wow, this is in a cartoon, you know. And then the bad guy gets killed by somebody else. I thought that kind of sucked. I wanted to see the good guy just take him out, but no, it was really good, intense. You know, I'm just like, wow, this is heavy. So you can have that, right? You can have that sort of, on the surface, it's like a silly premise, but you could add that freaking the seriousness and the level of just not like gravitas, but if you approach it in a serious way, you can glean these same life lessons from the oddest of sources, right? You know, I know it's kind of a long-winded way of saying it, but yeah, it was interesting. And as a kid, I remember as a young kid in my 10-ish, I guess, it was like, man, I was into that. That was cool because it was like edgy, right? It was dark. It wasn't just all silly cookie cutter, you know, or you know, like Mickey Mouse. You know, it was. I was like, wow, this is cool. Mickey Mouse ain't gonna hang here. Rats would have killed him. Not that I'm advocating for the death of Mickey Mouse. I'm just saying. Hey, Maura, girl, how you doing? I like the stream, and all of you should too. Yes, exactly. She liked it. Why haven't you liked it? I'm assuming everybody has. I'm going to assume everybody has because I don't have it up over here. I normally have my iPad going, but I don't have it up yet. So moving on. Thank you for giving a damn. I didn't feel well. We all give a damn. Everybody gives a damn. ABC. Easy's 1, 2, 3 was going. If Disney makes a proper Pete's Dragon remake, I will forgive them for everything. You didn't like the new one, huh? I'm with you. It was okay, but you know, there was a time period in Disney animation where you had Pete's Dragon, you had so it was Robin Hood, but it was like the fox. I'm just saying, you know, one of my favorites. But they had this great music that was almost like it wasn't country, it was kind of like folk music, you know. But if you watch like the Robin Hood, you know, Robin Hood, Little John run through the forest, you know, it's just unique, and it really is almost when you watch those, it's obviously different than what really is going on now, obviously. But then the 80s stuff and the 90s stuff, it's really unique, and it's kind of timeless in a way. You also had Fox and the Hound. You had these, and then the original Jungle Book. You had a lot of great songs in that too. So I think some of this, if you look at current movies, and maybe I'm just a little out of touch, but I don't know that the songs are that memorable, right? I mean, because some of that stuff, man, that was just golden, and the animation style was really good. And I know that some of the Disney stuff, they reuse some of the animations from different movies, but come on, they were hand drawn everything back then too. So I can give them a little bit of a break there. Tron could have been a good trilogy if done right. I like the second one, Legacy. While not perfect, if you're gonna resurrect a classic from the 80s and do it now, what was it, 30 years later? I think for the most part, it worked. I mean, for what it was, I think you're right. They could have really gone into the third movie and really made it a solid trilogy. I don't know where you would go with the story, but I mean, for the most part, I enjoyed it. I don't know that the look was as distinct as it could have been or should have been, because Tron was obviously, I mean, if you watch even now, looking at Tron, the original, it is so distinct. It is so different. Nothing else looks like it, with that sort of odd grayish color palette, and I know like the cardboard sets and all that, but come on, that was probably late 70s. Back then, we didn't really know what computers could do or couldn't do. So every movie was like, oh, you could just hack, and then hacking meant anything. And then you were like being sucked into video games and all kind of crazy stuff, because no one really understood the limitations of computers. It was kind of like the new frontier, right? So yeah, I think you could have definitely done a third movie, and it could have been really interesting. But I wish that the look in Tron Legacy would have been a little more distinctive. It was really just sort of not Matrix, but it was a little too black for me. I wanted different shades of different colors. I wanted more of a different look. I wanted more of a progression from Tron, the first movie, to Legacy, because it kind of just looked like it was just black and white. Obviously, there were color. Obviously, there was neon, but it seemed a little too, I don't know, the color palette, I didn't really care for that much. It's one of the things that made those movies. Oh, especially, yeah, exactly. Realism hurts it. Yeah, that's true. That's just a good point. Atari for life. I don't know that. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know that I've seen you before. If I haven't, I do apologize. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. We're back at that. Yeah, we're back at Dinosaur Story. There was a lot of those dinosaur themed movies back in the day that were really they were interesting. It was they were trying to do something different, right? They really were taking stories in different directions and all that. So yeah. Well, oh my God. Look at this guy. This guy is in here causing trouble. He needs a sandwich. Tug, are you going to take that? Are you going to take that from him? Are you going to? And if you're going to make him a sandwich, can you make me one? That may have been a lie. I apologize. I like. You see, yeah. Oh, so you're sort of like I am, Darkside. Legacy was pretty good. In my mind, it's like, okay, it's fine. Let's see what you do next. And they didn't do anything. It wasn't that successful. I understand. And I think Disney sort of got their eye on Lucasfilm and other things. And they were moving on. But yeah, I think for the most, it was okay. It wasn't bad. 34 watching. Go hit the like button if you don't mind. If you like what you see, if you dislike what you see, up or down, just hit something. One of the buttons. Just don't leave. Just stay here. Stay here because we got one more to talk about. Harley Quinn. My elementary school did Jungle Book for the spring musical. Was it bad? Elementary. Well, come on. Listen. Let's be fair. Elementary school. At that point, if the kids are if they don't fall off the stage, everybody's happy, right? It's just cute. They're probably kids in costumes, and you got kids that are like the trees in the background, and they're not happy. And come on, you gotta give it a little bit of a pass. It's elementary school, I liked the first Lamb. Yeah, isn't that what they always did though? They would really knock the first one out of the park. High standards for animation, good story, drama. And then they followed up with like 3 or 4 crappy sequels. I think the second Aladdin was okay, but man, like the third and fourth, it just became silly. It really did. Shots fired. Drunk 3PO. Have Nerdy make you one then. She's the... You know what? I'm not going to tell. I'm going to leave that alone. The Wandering Fox, Blade Runner 2049 is another really good belated sequel. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. If you need that much time to come up with a decent story, if you want to wait for the technology to catch up to the kind of story you want to tell, I'll wait. I'll take it. If Disney would have bought Star Wars and then had to wait 10 years before they really had a great idea, and maybe they were waiting for some new technology to sort of be able to push cinema forward, I would have waited. No problem. They could have rolled out animated stuff. They could have rolled out The Mandalorian. They could have done all this stuff on Disney Plus and streaming and on Disney Channel while they were cultivating this really interesting new push forward with Star Wars. That would have been great. I think we're asking for just a little bit of effort, aren't we? Just a little bit. My parody account is Take Off Your Shirt. That's my parody account. I'll take it. I guess it could be, my parody account could be Put Bag Overhead, I guess. So I guess it could always be worse. You know what? Tron Netflix show. Yeah, I think I'd be down for that. Maybe like 8 episodes. Little 8-episode initial season and see where we're at. I think if you go beyond, unless you've got a great story, if you go beyond 8 episodes, you get to 12 and 13, you always get filler. I hate to say it, you always get filler. You really do. Well, guys, we've hit the 30-minute mark, so you know what that means. It is time for another manly moment.
Manly moment. I didn't think you had it in you. I'm your huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave. I'm afraid the strain was more than he could bear.
I'm afraid the strain was more than he could bear. I love that movie. I love that movie. OG, if you're still in here, that was for you, girl. That was for you. One of the greatest Westerns, one of the greatest movies of the 90s. I'm not going to say of all time. Well, I don't know. I think I'm going to say of all time. It's definitely in my top. If I had a top 50, maybe even a top 30, it might even be a top 25 movies ever. I absolutely love that movie. And while we're on the subject of Tombstone, movie made in 1993, let me just run through the cast. Just the cast, okay? Think about this. Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, Bill Paxton, who's in everything, you know, Alien, Twister. he was in everything. Great. Val Kilmer plays one of the most iconic cinematic roles ever. He is so unforgettable as Doc Holliday. He was in that. He was the one saying, "I'm your Huckleberry." In case you haven't seen the movie, which, for God's sake, you need to see this movie. If you're a film fan, especially if you kind of like Westerns, watch this freaking movie. Michael Biehn, Terminator, Aliens. He was in Abyss. He was Michael freaking Biehn, right? Stephen Lang, the bad guy from Avatar, was in this. Billy Bob Thornton. We know who that is. Jason Priestley from 90210, which is kind of obscure. Michael Rooker. Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. He was also in The Walking Dead. Crazy. Charlton Heston is in this movie. He's got a fairly decent-sized cameo. He's got some speaking lines. Terry O'Quinn, the guy that played John from Lost, John Locke from the show Lost, is in it. It's crazy. Powers Booth. There's just a ton of characters. The cast is absolutely phenomenal. It is the movie is great start to finish. It doesn't really slow down. It's got a decent little opener, right? And then they settle into their life at Tombstone, and then things begin to escalate, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up. And by the end, it resolves in such a nice fashion. You just want to see it again. It's endlessly quotable. I'm your Huckleberry. It's just watch it. It's a wonderful, wonderful, great movie. It's just awesome. Very manly, very badass. You got bad guys that are real bad guys that need to die. And, let me turn off TV. Sorry. It was a little distracting. Bad guys that need some killing and good guys that are willing to do it. It's awesome. Awesome movie. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, please go check it out. You have to check it out. It's awesome. Let me get caught back up with the chat. I don't know. Is Drunk 3PO in here? Get in trouble? He probably is. Oh, no. She broke up with me. It happens. Listen, heartbreak. You put yourself out there. You take a chance. And listen, it happens. It happens. Look, we have somebody trying to keep you two together. But Steph, listen, if they don't want it to happen, I don't know what we can do. As much as I want it, as much as you want it, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad to see. It really is. Breaks my freaking heart. Soul Assassin, what's going on, man? How you doing? Hey, I will happily make you a sandwich drunk. Oh my gosh. See, that is she the one that started? Is Anna the one that started? Oh boy. My goodness. I don't know what I'm not even gonna. Y'all just work this out between yourselves. Love you all. I love everybody. I'm Switzerland, and your emotional, relational, shipple dispute, whatever I am. If that's a word. Fatal J, get me out of this hole I've dug myself into. Hey, Legacy was a classic. Yeah, it was. Classic. I don't know. Give it a few more years, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. Damn drunk Anna always offering to feature. So let's move on to a topic so I can talk about something else besides what you crazy kids are doing. Thanks everybody so much for being here. If you could gently tap that like button, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks Anna for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. Tugs, I don't know what you're gonna do with that guy. I don't know. It's crazy. Let's talk about something really super awesome and cool, guys. Hey, did you know that Luke had a yellow lightsaber? Yeah, nobody did either. None of us did. Well, guess what? Welcome to Retcon 2020. This is stupid. Listen, I know other people have covered it. Smarter people than I have covered this. But I did want to talk about it because this is really, it's silly. It's ridiculous. So Slash Films, they've got this article. And if you know what's going on, this is the latest cover of, I can't remember the name. It's Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Oh, geez. It's the latest cover of Star Wars comic book. Forgive me for not knowing the name. I think that's just Star Wars. I have not paid attention to the new stuff in comics, especially when I see garbage like this. It really infuriates me because you know what they're trying to do. And we're going to get into it in just a second. But let me read just a little bit of this. And then we'll talk about it. Audience has got a glimpse of the... No, Star Wars fans don't think that it's... I mean, I know it's kind of rare, but it's not like it's that big of a deal. Audience has got a first glimpse of the rare yellow lightsaber on the big screen in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, which is so stupid because one of the decent things that was slightly creative, you put at the end of the freaking film. Why not instead of super gluing, the iconic Anakin Skywalker lightsaber back together, and putting like little duct tape on it, with like a Band-Aid, which is stupid. That just looks stupid. Like, what the? No. How about we have her constructing her own lightsaber? She's already like, the god of all of Jedi, right? She could do everything. She's floating, and the freaking rocks are circling her like a DNA strand, and just crazy. They're orbiting her while she floats upside down. Sorry. I'm gonna step back. Why not have her have that lightsaber in the beginning of the movie? Because at least that would be different. At least that would be distinctive. That would be her own, right? I actually like the little swiping motion she did to ignite the saber instead of a push button or a switch. It was a little swipe that she did. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad they put that at the end. Moving on. Okay. It was a stark contrast to the blue and green lightsabers and purple. Are we just going to gloss over Mace Windu? What, is it because he's black? Is that what it is? Racist article. It was a stark contrast between the blue and green lightsabers that Jedi Masters have wielded in the past or the red lightsabers of the Sith. But now a new Star Wars comic has revealed that this isn't the first time Major Jedi Master has wielded a yellow lightsaber. Luke Skywalker. who until now had only been seen wielding the blue lightsaber that was his father's lightsaber and the green lightsaber that he constructed himself, because that's the only ones he did wield, you lying freaking morons. And let's get down to the crux of the article. What is Disney trying to do by this garbage? You know what they're trying to do. At the end of the article, and here's the full cover, and it is Star Wars, the comic book. Most of this is really cool. Just get rid of the freaking... Sorry. Makes you frustrated. Down here at the bottom of the article, you see why they're trying to do this. So the yellow lightsaber has mostly appeared in Star Wars. Yeah, we've seen it in the Clone Wars. The Temple Guards had that. And actually, I think that's really what this is going to be. If you look at this hilt, that's the Temple Guard's hilt, is what that is. So I don't know if he went to Coruscant. It says he went to Bespin to go find Anakin's lightsaber, is what it said in the synopsis. So I don't know how the hell he finds this one, unless it was just in the wreckage somewhere. Maybe Lando had it and it was just kicking around. But if he's got, and I know I'm going off here a little bit, but listen, if he got this, why would he construct his own? And if he constructed his own, why wouldn't he just keep this? Lightsabers aren't exactly growing on trees, okay? In the OT. Something to consider. But yeah, so, okay, with the special school of thought, blah, blah, let me get to the bottom. So Rey's yellow lightsaber is symbolic of her choosing the balance. Yeah, that's right. That's what she did. She chose the balance between her wavering identities, and until now was the first time we'd seen a Jedi Master and one with a golden color. Now Luke's yellow lightsaber, here's the key. Now Luke's yellow lightsaber draws an even stronger connection to Rey, who takes on the name Skywalker at the end of the abomination that was Episode 9. Yeah, she took it on. She just took it on. Like, you can just do that. Just change your name. And yeah, I've actually got, if you look up here, I want to show you the hilt that I'm talking about. Temple Guards. So yeah, that's definitely a Temple Guard hilt, I believe. It looks very, very similar. So I'm sure that's going to be what they're going to go with. Won't be a huge shock, a huge surprise. But, it's, I don't know. It's they're obviously trying to link this somehow, and which I thought of this today. They've told us over and over again, we want to let the past die, kill it if you have to, right? We're going to bring your legacy characters back to kill them or just marginalize them, make them little to nothing, destroy everything you know and love. But at the same time, then why are you trying to justify your present? With the past you're killed. I think what did I write down? If you are killing the past, why use it to justify the present? I mean, listen, if you don't want that anymore, if you're trying to move beyond that, then why do we have to continue to drudge up our beloved characters to justify your garbage? It's just stupid. It really is. It feels, and listen, anybody with any integrity looks at this and says, this looks tacked on. This is tacked on. This is last minute. This is just once again we're trying to fill in all the stuff we glossed over, and not just really, primarily the Rise of Skywalker, but everything else in this freaking BS trilogy. We're just let's just see what we can do. Let's just add supplemental material here. Let's all the clone. I guarantee you, the Clone Wars, this next, it's just going to be, they're just going to tie stuff in, fill in gaps. You see it all the time with the comics. They're like, oops, we didn't explain that. Well, let's bring it back. Let's. Oh, you got to read the comics. I know you. Oh, you really wanted to know. Oh, you really want to see that on screen, didn't you? Yeah. Well, you got to read the comics. You got to go read a book. We didn't need that in the original trilogy. If you wanted to understand it, if you wanted to go a little more in depth, if you really wanted to get the full experience of it all, if you wanted to know every little bit, every little tidbit, every little morsel of it, of the story, then you would dig in. You would buy the books and the novels and comics, and you would dig in. You would play the games, to really dig in and maybe get a little bit of an offshoot of what could have happened, with some of the games, Force Unleashed comes to mind. I absolutely freaking love that game. I just love it. I still got it. I still have a PS3 for that reason, to play some of those old games. And Force Unleashed is one of the ones I break it out. It's like God of War with lightsabers. It's badass. But I digress. It's so on the nose. You're obviously just trying to link these two things together, and it's not necessary. Listen, it's all, your stuff is stupid. Just stop. You've ended it. It's done. Quit. Move forward. Move on, right? Leave our Star Wars alone. The real stuff. Leave it alone because you wanted it to die. You wanted to kill it, right? You told us that. You let Ryan Johnson say it. You know, might as well be your freaking company mantra at this point. And, you know, go on and then do your thing. But quit trying to do this. I'm trying to curse. This garbage, right? This tacked on, this just y'all would just use Luke. But you hated Luke. Why are you then using Luke to validate everything you're doing? I mean, you say, look, she had a yellow lightsaber at the end of the movie. Who cares? That was our decision. That's what we decided to do. Boom. And you could have just referenced the the Temple Guards. You could have done anything. I mean, just why do you have to involve my Luke? Leave my Luke alone. Come on, you know? Go get your own Luke or your own Jake. Sorry, I know I get upset, but I see that crap. It's like, you know, I'm not buying your comics on purpose. I'm not doing it, you know, because of this garbage you're pushing, you know, because I got to flip through and read it. Oh, okay. Okay. Now you're going to try to explain it. You're going to try to explain it. Like they're going to continue as this comic goes on. They're going to, oh, this is how Maz Kanata found the lightsaber. What? So you're going to tell us now because you've had, 4 or 5 years to think about it? How did she find it? I don't know. We really didn't give it any thought whatsoever. Oh, damn. Well, I don't know. Let's get 1,000 people to look this over and come up with a bunch of ideas. Then we'll spit something out later. Ridiculous. Silly says, let me catch back up to the chat. I apologize, guys. I know I got a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy. Oh, this is taking us all to church tonight. I'm sorry. You know, I know it just bothers me. It bothers me because, you know, this is, and yeah, I think everybody's probably thinking the same thing I am. It's just tacked on. It's just such a stretch. Thank you, OG. Exactly. Yes. We're going to resurrect what we killed. Like, we murdered Luke right in front of all of you. We took his character and destroyed it. Oh, but unfortunately, our characters suck so bad and they're so empty. We're going to have to go ahead and resurrect what we murdered to validate what you got here. Because that character had weight. That character was beloved. At the very best, Rey is just I mean, honestly, find me some crazy ass Rey fanatics that aren't like in Arkham, you know, with the Joker. I'm talking about actual sane people. There's not that many people out there. I think there's Star Wars fans that, and I'm not going to begrudge them. They're going to gravitate toward. They're going to grab onto this because that's just what they want, right? They want more Star Wars, and they will take anything given to them whatsoever. And I cannot let that slide. And I don't think that we should. I think that we should demand more from Disney, you know? And this just garbage of we'll just like fixing it. Well, we'll fix it in post. They didn't bother to fix it in post. They're going to come up with a comic book years later. It's silly. It's so stupid. I mean, what else are you going to try to fix? You know, I can't wait. I can't imagine the adventures we're going to have, which is all just backstory of everything that we didn't find out in The Rise of Skywalker. Oh, we're going to see here. Look, here's Lando and Luke going on an adventure. Remember that thing they talked about in the movie? Yeah, we're actually going to see it now. Why didn't they fall in the black sand? They were right there. I mean, I don't understand. If they just stopped looking for the dagger, right? The clue. And I know, I'm sorry, I'm getting on a Rise of Skywalker tangent, but it's so stupid if you think of any portion of this movie. It's like, you're going to tell me that Luke and Lando got to that planet. The ship is right there. You didn't just walk up to the ship, because that's all the morons in Rise of Skywalker did. They just walked to it and fell in a freaking hole. Seriously? Jedi Master Luke couldn't figure that out? He could freaking sense it. He could sense the dagger down there. You knew he could. What did he just, oh, well, that's it. We've come this far. I got to go get ready for episode 7 where I'm, you know, not in the movie. And then in episode 8, I'm just a total loser. You know, I got to go destroy everything that all the fans thought they knew about me, wipe out all the EU, all the wonderful stuff that it pisses me off So what I've been doing, I have actually been okay. So I don't want to support Disney, but I'm not well versed in the EU. So I want to go get these books and stuff, and I want to get an audio version because I drive so much, I travel so much. So what I've been doing, I'm gonna give you a little peek here. Because I don't want to give them any money, I think, well, I'll just go get a CD of the audio version. Well, some of these books you can't get on audio, but what you can do is you can get them on cassette tape. So I have had to, and I posted this on my Instagram. I've actually bought a cassette player that I plug into my laptop, and I take those old tapes and I make audio versions of those books from tape. So I've actually got, maybe I don't have a picture of it. But anyway, so I've been buying cassette tapes. So now the great thing about that is, now, and if anybody's interested in this, let me know. Because the cassette player that plugs into your laptop is $25. Cassettes on eBay, I mean, like full sets of all these old books on cassette, audio cassette, is extremely, extremely cheap. I've got the whole Tron trilogy already. I have 11 books in the it is the New Jedi Order. I've got 11 books that I'm converting right now. I'm in the middle of this, and the audio is really pretty good. You got a little bit of hissing in the background. It's not CD quality, but I'm telling you, it is. If you want to do this and save yourself a ton of money, because if you want to go and download an audiobook, I'm not sure what you can do with Audible, but I was going to just like iTunes, download one book, right? And I went, it was like $15 for one. I'm thinking, well, damn, and I know Disney's gonna get that money. So how am I gonna live with myself? I know. I'll see if I can do the workaround. And I thought I could find CDs. I couldn't find CDs. I found tapes. It's really, the audio is really good. The audio is really good. You would think a cassette tape would not be good. It's really good. And one of the benefits is that you can get your hands on some stuff that you can't get now. Now, right now, if you get let me go to, okay, so right now I've got, and I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that. So not the Pantera, but those three. So I've got the first three Thrawn books, okay? Right now, you can actually get Last Command and Dark Force Rising. If you buy those from somewhere else, someone else is narrating them. I'm not sure who it is. But because I got these old tapes, it's Anthony Daniels. C-3PO is narrating those other two books, which you can't get those now. So it's a gold mine of stuff out there. I mean, if you want to dig, if you don't mind doing a little bit of digging, you can find some really, really, really good stuff. So peruse eBay. I'm telling you, people are selling whole sets of these books on audio cassette for pennies on the dollar. It's nuts. It's nuts. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But yeah, if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me. I will post more pics of just like the mountains of tapes I got going on. And, it takes a long time. You got to hit play and you got to let it go. But I mean, for the money, it's insane. It's crazy. I got all three of those books. These are in perfect condition with the cards, with the cardboard, and the slipcovers, everything. Beautiful. I got all three of those for $10. $10. It was like $6 and $4 to ship it. So I mean, $10. You cannot beat. It's insane. And it's EU goodness. It's in a format that is dead, but you're going to get some gems. I mean, the fact that Anthony Daniels is narrating those two books, you can't even download that now. It's somebody else that narrates them. So you got to be a little, use some ingenuity, shop, check, and you'll be surprised what you can find because it's really, really cool. It's a completely different experience, especially when it's Anthony Daniels. I mean, whether you like the actor or not, it's cool just to hear his voice telling you these stories. So. But anyway, so that's a way you can kind of go back and support if you want to dig into EU, but you don't want to give Disney money, that's a way you should think about doing it. Seriously. Find the stuff that's on an older format. CD obviously is going to be the best way to go because most of us still have CD players in our cars. You can put that in your laptop and you can rip that right to your computer. But don't be discouraged if all you can find is cassette tapes because there's a way you can do it that really works. So it's it's cool. So of course you do. I choose Legends, and you should. You really should. Oh, is Demagina in here? Man, I am sorry. Lethal Lightning, what's up, brother? He's at work. Damn it. Well, listen, I'm so sorry, but thank you for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Feel the hatred. What's up, man? How you doing? Everybody saying hi to Lethal. What a great. Hey, there he is. There he is. I know what you mean by that. I know what that says. I know what you're saying there, and I agree. Dimaj and I agree. Wholeheartedly, brother. Wholeheartedly. Grey Order fan fiction going to be better than Disney stuff. Anything is better than Disney stuff. I mean, because it's just filler. They're motivated by trying to connect the BS stories we got in the movies. That's their motivation, not good storytelling. Freaking filling in gaps. That's all they're going to try to do. I guarantee you this last season, look at it. Listen, the last season of Clone Wars, I'm excited because for what it is flawed, but I enjoyed the Clone Wars because I watched that with my kids. Okay. That was some of their Star Wars, prequels and Clone Wars is stuff they were into that. They were watching, they were into it. I'm serious, and I wasn't going to fault them for that. It's Star Wars and we'd watch it together. And they're so excited about that new episode or the new season coming out. But I guarantee you that new season is going to be so tainted with Disney, Star Wars. It's going to be weighted down by all the movies, and they're going to have to try to connect some tissue. When I saw Darth Maul fighting Ahsoka, I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't even make any sense, even in your own continuity. Because in Rebels, when she sees him in Rebels, it's just like Maul, and that's it. That's it. It's like she hadn't seen him in forever. But if they're going to have this epic fight scene, epic battle, then that introduction in Rebels should have been completely different. So now they're going to go back and retcon that. They're trying to make Ahsoka more than what she really was or what she should have been, which she was just a Jedi school dropout. She couldn't hack it. She didn't want to be a part of it anymore. She lost faith in the Jedi, whatever. But she left. She was kind of overpowered for a Padawan anyway. I liked the character, but I think she was overpowered. Mary Sue, I don't know. I don't think so. There are enough episodes where she learned lessons, from Yoda and from other Jedi masters. So there was enough of that there. I don't think she was a total Mary Sue, but she was still way overpowered for a Padawan, for as young as she was. I know who her, mentor was, but still, still it's a little hard to swallow. Hey, Rosetta, what's up, girl? What is going on? Everybody loves Lethal Lightning. We love you, man. We are your peeps, man. We are your peeps. Yeah, brother, preach it. It's just the way it is, man. It's easy to get upset about it. It's so easy when you just think about it for 4.3 nanoseconds, you just get pissed off. You get so upset because it's all this is. It's all it is. It's just marketing garbage. I used to be a Disney fan and a Star Wars fan, but seeing how awful Disney and Star Wars treat their property, I'm going to stick with 90s nostalgia, anime, video games, and some YouTube channels. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's disappointing. It's disappointing because I think most of us were Disney fans, like old school Disney fans, and then of course, obviously Star Wars fans, and to see that come together, I was optimistic. I think most of us were. You got the deep pockets, I guess. Of not empty pockets, but the deep pockets of Disney. Man, you thought there's nothing they can't do. There's nothing they can't do. It's awesome. So I was excited, and then just 7 was sort of a half-hearted attempt, but we all were. What were we doing? We were still on board because Luke. What is Luke doing? What's going on with Luke? At the end, he just turns around. What the hell's going on with Luke? Everybody was all about Luke in the white Jedi robes. He must be a badass. He's got to be. And in the original scripts, if you look back at interviews, the original scripts, the original stuff in 8 was going to have a badass Luke. And originally, in the end of episode 7, Luke was supposed to be standing there at the cliff, and there were supposed to be rocks floating. An homage to the struggle that he had to lift 1 during his training with Yoda. He was supposed to be standing there sort of in the Force, rocks just floating everywhere. And we got nothing. And then we got the blasphemy that was The Last Jedi. And then just for me, that added insult to injury when that was what was intended for Luke's character. And then we see Rey in The Rise of Skywalker, and she's freaking Indian style. Sorry, don't want to say Indian style. That may offend somebody. Chris standing with her legs, or floating with her legs crossed, and the rocks are freaking orbiting her. And then when she's done, she just sort of does like a somersault, floats downward. It just sucks. that they just maxed her out, you know. All her skills were maxed out, and she was the ultimate super badass Jedi, and it wasn't earned in the slightest. Nobody can convince me of that. It just sucks that we didn't get to see Luke in that way in the slightest. The only thing we got to see in it, and it got me just a little bit, just a smidge, was in The Rise of Skywalker when we see Luke, when he raises his own X-Wing. For a split second, they got me because he couldn't do it back in the day. But at his power level now, the where he should have been freaking juggling X-Wings, pulling Death Stars out of the freaking sky. And he was supposed to be so much more. But that little moment was, you know, it's like, damn. It's for a second you're like, wow, look at it. And then you remember, you know, The Empire Strikes Back. And then you remember, wait a minute, no, we're like 40 years later. What the hell? Why didn't you give us the good Luke in episode 8? It just sucks. It just sucks. It's crazy. I did want to talk about one more thing. There was an article. There was an article that came out that I thought was pretty telling. Scott Mendelsohn, the shill of shills. It's funny how the tables kind of turn, right? Let me bring that up real quick. So this punk, right? The man has said he just loved Last Jedi, slobbed all over it, couldn't get enough of it, you know. You want to just smack him, right? Okay, well now this guy's now he's on the side of truth, okay, with the fandom. He is on our side in some way, right? He will never admit that, but he's writing stuff like this, and he's been bashing Skywalker for a while. Well, now he says that Star Wars may never recover from the damage done by Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, no crap. Man, it's hard to cuss on this one. I'm getting emotional. This is what happens when you give Luke a yellow lightsaber, okay? It pisses me off with your just last minute sort of like cheating on copying somebody's homework in class before you turn it in. That's what this is. This is you, and you forgot to do your homework, so you steal the smart girl's paper, and you're real quick just writing stuff down before here comes the teacher. She's going to pick up my paper. I got to fill something out. This is what they're doing. That's what it is, okay? We're the smart kids over here with our paper all done because we did our homework. Okay, we know we double and triple checked we're good to go. We stayed up late. We got it done. We're good to go. We're ready. We're prepared. And they're going, we gotta. Let's just write some. Come on, man, get that crap out of here. He thinks that it's never going to recover. I tend to agree. And I'm gonna read a little bit of this article. So no matter what happens to Star Wars, be it on buzzy shows on Disney Plus or the new batch of hopeful, well-liked movies, Lucasfilm and Disney will have blown the self-proclaimed ending to the Skywalker saga. Yeah. You think? Today is the 2-month anniversary of the domestic debut of Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars Episode 9 debuted on Thursday, okay, amid mixed to negative reviews and low audience polling score. Really? Wow. Okay. In pure big surprise, right? In pure financial terms, it's a hit. Sure. As far as like if you're just looking at dollars, right? If you're just looking at profit, you know, anything made over the production budget plus, you know, marketing is considered a win, right? It earned 514 million domestic and around one. It's almost at 1.07. So for everybody that's been following me, I've said 1.06 was all I was going to make. Looks like it cracked my little estimate, but not by much. Not by much. It's not gonna. It's still. I know it's close. I haven't looked at the numbers today, but I think it's still. It might catch Joker, maybe. Joker, a movie that was made on a shoestring budget, damn near an indie film, and it's gonna rise above Rise of Skywalker. See what I did there? Rise. Rise of Skywalker, the end of everything, right? Couldn't catch it. Crazy. Okay, so to the extent it may look to the extent that it may look disappointing, it's particularly about the many Disney mega hits. Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you compare this to other endings, right? Like Endgame, okay? Even like The Lion King and Frozen 2. Those movies ended up dwarfing Star Wars Episode 9. Had it opened in 2020, it may have been this year's biggest grosser. Yeah, well, that's true. And there's an argument you could make that if you would push it to 2020, Maybe it would have been better instead of rushing it. But I don't think that they could have made that garbage heap any better than what it was. I think it was doomed from the start. JJ was trying to fix 8 and then still put something together and calling it 9. It's I don't know. Nothing you could do. But at least if you push it to 2020, it might have been the biggest movie this year. Because this year, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there that it might hit, it might not. But then look at Sonic. Nobody expects Sonic to do what it did. It may have been the movie's this year's biggest grosser. Had it opened this year, it probably would have been a better movie. Instead, its final gross puts it on the defensive, while the artistic reception imperils the entire front. I don't know. It's a wordy article. It sucked. To have that be the end of your trilogy, not only your trilogy, but the Skywalker saga, which it's not the Skywalker saga. This is just Star Wars, okay? And Skywalker, yes, is prominent, but this is just Star Wars. They're trying to chop it up, like say, okay, we're going to have Skywalker saga here, and then we're going to have a new saga. The problem I have with that is because these BS 3 movies that they just came out with are going to be tied into my other 6 movies that I loved that these 3 ain't got no business being a part of. So don't sit here and try to say Skywalker saga and lump it in like it's all the same. Oh, it's good. No, it's all 1 through 9. It's all the same. It's all one saga. No, it's not. It's not even close. So we scroll down to get to sort of the meat of what he was talking about. And I'm just going to read this last paragraph. So that was the risk with selling the Rise of Skywalker, not just as the trilogy capper to the first batch of Star Wars movies, which is what it should have been. It just sort of ended their first trilogy, right? But as the grand finale to the Skywalker/Solo narrative, in a world where Logan, The Dark Knight Rises, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and even the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 ended their franchise on a financial high note, even though those movies may not have been the best. Like The Dark Knight Rises was not the best in that Batman trilogy. It made the most money. Selling Rise of Skywalker as the end of all things made 104% commercial sense. However, Star Wars Episode 9 thus had to be A, a good movie, B, a satisfying trilogy capper, and C, a winning finale to the whole Star Wars saga. And this is the meat of the argument here. It arguably was none of those things in a way that discolored the entire 9-film, the entire 9-film episodic saga. There's no do-over. Star Wars will survive, but the Skywalker saga may not. And I contend that Star Wars itself may not survive. The original 6 movies will survive, and real fans will always make that distinction. But for Disney to try to lump these 3 garbage films in with our other 6 and say it's a saga and count it as one, no real fan is going to accept that. And it's just going to infuriate us more when they continue to do that. So, will Star Wars in our hearts, the first 6 films will live on. That the Legends, EU, all that will continue to live on. Those stories, anything written within the confines of that will continue to be sources of inspiration moving forward. But Star Wars, Disney Star Wars moving on, I don't think it's going to be successful. Especially when you see this stuff. When they use all this supplementary media to come in and try to justify the garbage they put on screen. And, how are we going to explain it? I don't know. This real quick. Just fill something out. I don't know. We'll write a comic book about it. Luke's got a yellow lightsaber. It's stupid. They could have fixed that in their own movie. As long as that continues to happen, no one's going to take all this stuff seriously. We're not going to take your comic book seriously because we know you're just trying to fix garbage in your universe. It didn't make sense. We're not going to take Clone Wars, the last season, seriously because we know you're just going to try to fix that and connect dots that don't even need to be connected. Why are you doing that? They're talking about tying it into the Mandalorian series. Why is that necessary? I mean, if there's a nod, that's fine, but that takes place before the OT. But it takes place before episode 3. The Clone Wars does, and then the Mandalorian is after the OT. Why do we need to directly connect those two things? To have a little Mandalorian lore in there, to find out about the fall of Mandalore and all that, that's fine, just as history, but not direct connective tissue. That's not necessary. We're separated by 4 films. 5 if you count Rogue One. So there's no need for that. But to try to force that, nobody's going to take it seriously. It's not going to be the classic. We're not, those that were looking for story lines to be wrapped up from the Clone Wars are going to be disappointed, because you're just trying to do your filler. You're just trying to bring it all together, and it's silly. It's silly. I mean, you know what it is. When somebody acts like that, you know what they're doing.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
See, Disney, that's good advice. You never go full retard. And you did. All right, everybody, I'm going to start. Did I see Abu Naz was in here? I got to preaching, and I just didn't. I just skimmed over my man. Hey, Gregory Burke. I didn't see you jump in, man. How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Where was Abu? There he is. Look at this man. There we go. Man, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Listen, I appreciate every single one of you stopping by. It has been great. I would keep going, but unfortunately, I've got to catch an early flight out tomorrow. So, hey, listen, thank you, man. Thanks. Thanks. They deserve it. They brought it on themselves. Brought it on themselves. There she is. Yep, she's fired up just like I am. You called down the thunder. Well, now you got it. Coffee chat tomorrow morning. Be there or be squeezed. Exactly. Yes. The great OG Star Wars. If I've got any mods left, please throw her channel in the chat, please. Every morning, she's got the coffee chat. Great discussion. Great EU discussion. She is a wealth of knowledge. Please swing by her channel and say hi. Check out what she has to say. And you better bring some paper and a pen, because she's going to lay it on you. She's going to lay it down, and you're going to want to remember that stuff. And she's going to bring up a lot of good information, a lot of good source material that you need to dig into. I myself am inspired by her and others, Lord Callis, Ryan Kennel, to really get in there and dig in and find this stuff. And that's why I'm doing the crazy stuff like buying freaking books on audio cassette, okay? Because I don't want to give Disney any money, but I want to know about this. I need to learn about this, because that's where the gold is, right? Okay, that's where it needs to be. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. There it is. There it is. Check her out on Twitter. And, there we go. Exactly. Check her out. Check out her channel. Great person. Great person. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm going to have to wrap this up. I've got to catch a plane early in the morning. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like I always, just keep it in your hearts what Star Wars really was, not what they're giving us. Don't accept this as the standard. Dig in for yourself. The truth is out there. It's not X-Files, but anyway, so listen, everybody, sleep well. DJ, I'm going to say hi to DJ. Sorry. See you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you stopping. Soul Assassin, did I say hi to you? I think I did. I just want to make sure I say hi to everybody. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make it worthwhile. Hey. Snuck in. I'm just about to shut it down. Gentlemen, how are you? Thanks. Oh, man, thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah, got to catch an early flight. Everybody be safe. Get some rest. Love all y'all. Look for me this weekend. I'm going to be trying to do something. I'm going to be home this weekend. So back in my home studio, and want to do something. Oh, before I let you go, 2-minute review this week is, I think it's going to be Call of the Wild. There's not that much new out there. So I will be checking that out tomorrow when I get home. 2-minute review coming up for that. So if you're interested, if you want to know, is it worth seeing? I mean, it's PG. It's Harrison Ford. He doesn't necessarily try real hard in some of his movies. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if the CGI dog looks stupid. because I don't know, some of the trailers aren't that great. But anyway, y'all have a blessed day, and I will see all y'all next time. Later.